It was early morning on the quiet shores of Galilee. The sky wore soft shades of lavender and gold, and the scent of damp earth mingled with the distant sound of fishermen readying their nets. Everything felt still, except for the gentle whisper of grace in the air. In a small stone home nearby, an old man named Eli sat alone on a wooden stool, the wood creaking beneath his weight, echoing the slow ache in his bones. His hands, weathered by decades of wrestling the sea, trembled slightly as he reached for an old scroll. But this morning, something stirred in him deeper than pain, a quiet kind of hope, the kind that doesn't shout but settles deep into the heart like warm light at dawn. Earlier, Eli had watched his grandson run along the shore, laughing, chasing crabs with feet that barely seemed to touch the sand. And in that moment, a soft prayer rose from Eli's lips, not a cry for youth or for strength, but a whisper of awe. "Lord," he breathed, "you know the frame you gave me, every weakness, every ache. How do you carry it all?" It wasn't a complaint. It wasn't even desperation. It was wonder. How could a God who made the stars hold something so fragile, so breakable as a human body? Maybe you've asked a question like that too. Maybe in the quiet of your own soul, you've looked at your reflection or felt the heaviness of life in your body and wondered how God still sees you, still holds you, with so much tenderness. In that moment of wonder, Eli remembered a verse his father once taught him when he was a boy, from Psalm 103. "As a father has compassion on his children, so the Lord has compassion on those who fear him. For he knows how we are formed. He remembers that we are dust." Eli smiled. His heart found peace in that truth. God knows. He knows every limit, every ache, every breath. He knows how quickly strength fades, and he never turns away. Our fragility doesn't repel him. It draws him nearer. He is not like the world that values only the strong. He is like a father who kneels beside his child, or a mother who wraps her arms around a tired little one. What if this is the very heart of prayer? Not asking God to make us stronger so we can do more, but simply offering him our frailty, our aches, our aging limbs and trembling hands, and letting him hold them. What if the true miracle is not healing that erases the weakness, but the presence of a loving God who enters into it with us? This is what Eli felt that morning in Galilee. Not shame over his old body, but grace for the season he was in. Maybe that's what you need this morning too. Not a miracle that makes you younger, but a reminder that even now, especially now, God sees you. He remembers that you are dust, and he still chooses to cradle you in his hands. So take a breath. Let that truth settle deep. You are known, you are held, and even in your weakness, you are not forgotten. You are loved. Eli sat quietly, the scroll resting on his lap, its edges fluttering in the morning breeze. The lines on his face caught the light of the rising sun, and for a moment, those lines didn't feel like reminders of decay, but like sacred stories written by time. Each wrinkle told of storms endured, prayers whispered, tears shed and dried by unseen hands. Each slowed step was no longer a sign of weakness, but a testimony of how far God's grace had carried him. How often do we look in the mirror and see loss? What's faded? What no longer works the way it used to? But what if we've misunderstood aging all along? What if it isn't a curse, but a quiet crown? Evidence that the Father has walked with us through every season, patiently, lovingly. God doesn't discard what's cracked. He's not like the world. which replaces the broken and praises only the strong. No, he's like a potter who sees a fracture in the clay and doesn't throw it out, but leans in with steady hands and mends it gently. With love. That's how he sees you. Not as something failing, but as something worth restoring, worth keeping, worth cherishing. That's why the slowing down isn't punishment. It's invitation. An invitation to notice him more, to listen more closely, to walk with him more gently. It's in these slower days that we begin to hear the quiet language of grace, the soft rhythms of mercy that are drowned out in the rush of youth. As Eli sat by the window, reflecting on these things, his grandson came running back from the shoreline, breathless, cheeks flushed with joy. "Grandpa," the boy asked, "why do you pray so much?" Eli chuckled softly, taking the boy's hand in his. The boy's fingers were small and warm, full of energy. His own hand, though calloused and slow, was steady in its tenderness. "Prayer," Eli said, looking out toward the sea, "is how I fly. It's the weight of wings, my boy. When my body feels heavy, my spirit takes flight. I lift my weakness to God, and in return, He gives me strength that's not my own." The boy blinked, wide-eyed, not fully understanding, but feeling the depth of his grandfather's words in his heart. And together they stood in silence, watching the golden sun rise over the water. A quiet promise in the sky that no matter how weak the body may feel, God's love remains strong. That sunrise, that moment, held something eternal. A grandfather passing down not just words, but a way of seeing life. A truth that could anchor a soul when the storms came. Have you ever thought of prayer that way? Not just as asking or speaking or even believing, but as soaring, as the way your heart learns to breathe again when your strength runs out. We don't need perfect bodies to be near to God. We only need hearts willing to lean on Him. Eli knew that, and perhaps today, it's what you and I need to remember too. So don't be ashamed of your slowness, your aches, or the lines that time has traced upon your life. They are not the end of your story. They are proof that you've walked long with God. And when you feel like your strength is gone, remember the wings of prayer are always within reach. Just lift your soul, however tired it may be, and He will lift you higher than you imagine possible. Lord, here I am, this morning, just as I am, not perfect, not polished, not pretending. I come to you with my whole self, my strengths, yes, but also the tired parts, the tender places, the parts that ache and don't know how to keep going. Sometimes I wake up and feel like I should be more energetic, more joyful, more faithful. But you remind me I don't need to perform for your love. I just need to be present, to be real. So here I am, Lord, holding nothing back. There are mornings I feel strong, Lord, and for those I give thanks. But there are also mornings like this one, when my heart feels heavy and my body feels like it's already run a marathon before the sun even rises. My thoughts race, my shoulders slump, my breath catches under the weight of unknowns. And yet you still meet me here, not with shame, not with impatience, but with the calm of a father who sees every moment, every molecule of weariness, and still chooses to stay near. You know my frame. You know what I can handle. You remember I am dust, not to diminish me, but to offer mercy instead of pressure. So help me, Lord, to be gentle with myself today. Teach me that it's not weakness to need rest, or help, or grace. Let me stop striving to be something I was never meant to be, and instead rest in the truth that you already know who I am. Show me the beauty of this season, even if it's hard. Remind me that prayer isn't just a request list. It's an exchange of burdens, a lifting of my soul, a chance to fly above the pain on wings I didn't earn. Wings made of grace, wings that carry the weary and renew the broken. May I feel that flight today, Lord, not in my muscles, but in my spirit. And as I lift my heart to you, I also bring others with me. Lord, I pray for my family, the ones I see every day, and the ones I only carry in memory. Touch them with the same compassion you offer me. Heal what's broken in their stories. Calm what's storming in their hearts. I pray for my friends, those who are struggling silently, too afraid to admit how lost or lonely they feel. Let them know you see them, just as you see me now. And Lord, I pray for the people I don't even know, the man driving to work in silence, hiding tears, the woman sitting in a hospital room waiting for answers, the child who went to sleep hungry again. They are all part of this human frame you formed. They matter to you. So may your gentle hand rest on them too. May they feel your nearness in the smallest moments. May they be surprised by hope where they least expect it. Teach us all to be more patient, not just with others, but with ourselves. So often we demand strength from our own hearts when you're simply inviting us to be still, to know, to breathe, to remember that we are loved not in spite of our weakness, but in the middle of it, because your word says that your power is made perfect in our weakness, that what we see as failure is often the very place you meet us most deeply. So Lord, help us not to run from our limitations, but to offer them to you. Let us trust that the cracks in our jars of clay don't disqualify us. They are where your light shines through. And may we never forget this truth. Our weakness does not separate us from your love. It draws us closer to your heart. Amen. Before you go into your day, I want you to pause and take this with you. God knows your strength, and He knows your weakness too. He sees every detail of who you are, and none of it surprises Him. None of it scares Him. He's not waiting for you to have it all together before He wraps you in His arms. No, He carries you now, right here, right where you are. If your heart feels heavy today, if your body is tired or your soul feels worn, don't try to fight it alone. Let prayer lift you. Let His gentle love become your strength. Because prayer isn't just what we say, it's how we rise, even when we feel like we can't stand. It's how our soul remembers we are never alone. And if today you still wonder whether God truly sees you, whether He cares in the quiet or the chaos, this is your reminder. Yes, He does. He knows every breath you take. He's seen every tear you've cried, and He hasn't missed a moment. So trust Him with it all. Rest in His arms. Walk into this day knowing that grace goes before you, and His peace is your anchor. If you believe in the power of prayer, if you believe that God's compassion meets you right where you are, type Amen in the comments below. Let this be your declaration of trust and hope. May the peace of the Lord fill your heart today, and may His grace carry you, not just through the easy moments, but through every step, every struggle, and every breath. You are held, you are known, and you are never alone. Amen.